This is MPE Live TV. My name is Dwayne Gefferie, and over the next 3 days, I'm going to capture in real time what's going down exactly here on the floor. Well, Anurag, thank you very much for joining us. You're currently working at Uber, right?
Yes.
And of course, being at a merchant payments ecosystem, you're probably one of the people that everybody wants to talk to. Everybody wants to understand a little bit more. But maybe for the people here watching MPE Live TV, they want to know a little bit more about you. So tell me a little bit, what are you currently doing at Uber and what are you working on?
Hi, I'm Anurag. I'm a product manager at Uber. So in my past life at Uber, I was looking at all the alternative payment methods integration. So in all the 70 plus markets that Uber is operating, enabling payment methods like Ideal or 𝗃𝘃 or 𝗶𝘆𝗺, anything like that, enabling that for Uber. What I'm transitioning into now is making Uber's payment ecosystem available for our third-party integrations. So when Uber works with ChatGPT or when Uber works with iFood in Brazil or when we work with Instacart in US, how do we exchange the payments information and then we both ways. So we consume the payment information from a customer coming from Instacart to Uber or share the payment information for a user going from Uber to Instacart so that they can seamlessly transaction between the platforms so that we can reach to user where they are. So if there is a Grab user traveling to San Francisco, he should be able to book an Uber, whereas where a Uber user going to Singapore, he should be able to book a Uber there as well. Yeah, book a Grab there.
Yeah, fantastic. So it's payments interoperability across different applications and then making sure that third-party payments are actually moving seamlessly, right?
Yeah.
And really smooth. So I think that's fantastic. Hey, give me, like you already gave a couple of great examples, right? But what would be like an interesting integration that you've done with Uber payments that you actually say, hey, once we started doing that, the uplift that we saw from payments acceptance, customers using one application and using Uber and the other ones because we enabled that really, really shine through?
Yep, I think there are a few of them like that. So there's a great partnership with Grab that's going on and that's going to go live soon. But there's a very successful partnership with Instacart where all the Instacart users can actually order their groceries on Instacart. They can order food, not just grocery, but they can also order food from the restaurants that they want to choose from Instacart, which is powered by Uber Eats. So that's like a great partnership. That's a very successful business for us. Another thing on the mobility side, what we are doing is we have an integration on a lot of super apps that we're launching into. So we have one integration with WeChat, where if a Chinese traveler is traveling out of China and they don't have to download 5 different mobility apps in different markets, they can still use Uber wherever they go. And they have a Uber mini app within their WeChat super app. So they just go to Australia and they can book an Uber through WeChat app. They go to Hong Kong, they can book an Uber app, and all happening through their mini app without any authentication again, without any authorization again. You just do one-time onboarding and that's it, successfully transacting since then.
Yeah, that's fascinating. So we don't just have embedded payments anymore. It's the embedification of apps within outside other apps, where then payments is just the seamless process across all of that.
Exactly, and that's the way the world is moving, right? So once the OpenAI and all will start building that platform, and they would also want people to embed those mini apps so that people don't have to go and download 10,000 different apps. You can just have an ecosystem on need basis. So today you need Uber, tomorrow you need to order food from Uber, or next day you want to order from some merchant clothes. You can do all of that on ChatGPT or Gemini or Anthropic Cloud.
It's a fascinating topic because especially I think the last couple of weeks we've heard about OpenAI sort of like retreating back from wanting to build that infrastructure layer themselves. But at the same time, you're saying, hey, within those LLMs, if I'm using OpenAI and I'm saying, hey, I have to go from, we're in Berlin right now, I have to go to the airport. I can actually go into my ChatGPT and then say, I have to go there. Would you like to order an Uber? It pulls that in and you can just do everything to the LLM and just integrate all of that.
Yeah. So I think that's true. Like this ecosystem is evolving so fast, and that's the reason why ChatGPT started with something. They put a very heavy platform fee of 4%, which is significantly high. And I think the merchants were not ready for that. Merchants are looking for their own optimization. over the years, we have built a moat around our data points, right? The data that we have learned, that we've acquired from our all millions of trips that we have enabled. And if all of that is disintermediated when ChatGPT starts to book trips for users, and people can do price wars between Uber versus Lyft or Uber versus another ride-sharing app, and then we are losing all that moat that we have built. So I think that's where the merchants, this model has to evolve for it to be profitable for merchants and value addition for the user. So I think that's what it's gonna take some cycles of going back and coming forward, and things like that will happen. But I'm sure like collectively they all will find some value addition where users will benefit out of it, and merchants don't have to lose out significant share from that.
Absolutely, that's fantastic. So you're here, of course, at MPE. We're just getting started. I think the doors have opened only for 2 hours. It's extremely busy. What are you trying to get out of MPE this year?
So that's my first time in MPE, and I'm super glad that I made this call to be here. I think the thing that I'm looking for is like just to make connections, to learn about how the ecosystem is evolving, what other companies are offering, but also to learn from what other merchants are doing. I think that's a perfect setup where you have a lot of merchants and a lot of vendors together to learn from each other. So I think it's a very good learning opportunity for me.
Absolutely. So one of the themes, especially this year, is all about transformation, and the industry is transforming. We have AI and agentic, of course, being a major part of that transformation. But we also talk about payment sovereignty, right? Like where we're looking not just at the larger payment schemes, but we're also looking at a lot of the movement that we see in Europe. We see EPI, we see localized payment methods. Has that impacted the work that you've been doing at Uber in trying to integrate that as well? Do you see a shift from customers choosing different localized payment methods over international payment methods? Or have you just built an ecosystem that's so seamless that says, no matter where you are in the world, you can just pay with us however you want to?
That's absolutely like one of the key focus that I've worked on in the last few years, is enabling ways to pay for people how they want to pay. And if you go to Netherlands, everybody wants to pay with Ideal. The experience sucks. I mean, if you ask anybody from US, they will say, why you have to go through every time to your bank to approve the transaction? That makes no sense. But people in Netherlands, they love it. And it has very good success rate. It has very good adoption. It's working great. 𝗶𝘁𝘁 is another great example in Poland. Ben Contact is a great example in Belgium. I think the challenge for merchant is that this is very fragmented. European market is very fragmented. Each country has its own nuanced payment experience and payment method. But as a global merchant, we have to do what our user wants. And if they want to pay with Ideal, we need to make Ideal available for them. And that's what we're doing.
Absolutely. Okay, so, we discussed already some of the takeaways, what you're seeing over here. If somebody's watching this right now, they're always on the fence a little bit about, should I go to MPE? Shouldn't I go to MPE? Mind you, again, we've only been 2 hours in, but what would you say? Like, why would somebody have to come to MPE this year or the next year, actually?
I think it's a great setup where there are a lot of merchants and there are a lot of informal setup for merchants to get together as well, which I think is a great value addition, that you get to learn from what other merchants are doing and not just hear the sales pitch from the other vendors. I mean, hearing sales pitch is okay, it's interesting because you get to learn a lot more about how the ecosystem is evolving. So I would not discount that. That's a great value addition in itself. But also just listening to other merchants is a great value addition itself.
Yeah, exactly. It's the networking, it's getting those deeper insights, it's getting use cases that when you're in your bubble building great things from your company, you're normally not getting. Plus, a lot of it is probably not published online because it's still a work in progress. But like you said, indeed, I think that's really captures MPE, right? It's a merchant payments ecosystem with the emphasis on merchants, where merchants are really getting together. You have your different events as well, and people really want to get together. So I want to really thank you for your time and for this interview as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much
for having me here.
Thank you.
Thank you.